welcome to Unfiltered
I
with
do my
Roxy.
hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Unfiltered with Roxy. I'm your host, Roxana Feenster, and I'm so glad you're with me today. Life has a funny way of testing us on the very things we think we're mastering or we're in the process of learning, but we're almost on our way out. I've spent a good amount of time talking about navigating change, setting boundaries, even the dangers of toxic positivity. And then, side punch to the gut. I had one of those weeks that had me crying. And I thought at some point it was my hormones. I am perimenopausal and perimenopause is real. But most of it is just life, like finances not being the way you want, like getting the runaround from the MBA, bills, car registration. That's for me. Um, my taxes. And in the middle of all that, I realized that it wasn't more strength that I needed. I'm a strong person. I've been through a lot of hard things. It wasn't more grit. It wasn't more hustle. And it wasn't even being more positive, right? Because it's like after a certain point, how much more positive can you be before it's toxic, right? Before you're just like, oh, yeah, well, no, my arm isn't cut off. It's just taking a break. Like, no, after a while, it's like you have to just stop, be mindful of where you are in that process. And that is what I needed at that point. And that is what we're going to discuss today, self-compassion. If you've ever been weighed down by disappointment, ashamed of your procrastination or frustration with yourself for not having it all together, this episode's for you. Because today we're going to talk about how to treat yourself with the same kindness you'd give a best friend. I want to tell you about what happened. When people have shared when they're going through things, that has really helped me in my life. And I want to help other people process and get through so they can get to freedom. Because if you see the truth about your situation, I always believe that that's going to set you free. So let me tell you what happened. I had been procrastinating setting up a payment plan for my taxes. And honestly, I'd done this before with the toll fines, and I ignored them until the fines piled up. But this time it was different. I was expecting a payment to get me started on this, and that payment got taken because of the taxes. And I think I almost had a mental breakdown when that happened. I was so upset and so sad because I had really worked hard. I had just finished a project, and finally it was the end of the summer. I was supposed to get cashed out, which not cashed out, paid. I worked hard. And now it's like I'm starting from zero. I had to start from zero. Like, I've talked about starting from zero with my garden, having to start all over again with certain things, even with my health, which is a whole nother thing that we're going to get into in a different episode about our health and wellness. But yeah, it really, really, really sidekicked me. I was crying. It was like very defeating. So I had went through a kind of come to Jesus moment. I felt like my chest was exploding, but I had called one of my friends, and actually I didn't call her. I went to go see her, and there was a whole thing behind that on the way to see her. Um I had talked to her about the situation, and guess what? She had told me, you should talk to my sister, because she had talked to me about this, and yeah, she figured out a way around it. And I was like, oh, okay. So the first shift was that people aren't judging you the way you think they are. Like, I ended up talking to her sister. Her sister was and another friend, like, and they were so warm and welcoming. Like, it was a shift for me. Like, people were there for me. People were like, oh, no, it's going to be okay. That happened to me, or I know somebody that happened to. And they gave me step by step who to call, how to go through it. And so it reminded me like I'm not alone. It's hard when you have to deal with these things, with these disappointments, but the world is full of helpers. We just have to find them. And if you know anything about Mr. Rogers, he would always say they're helpers, look for the helpers when you're in a hard situation. And it was like I had to learn that lesson. Like, I'm not by myself. There's other people here to help me. I mean, my family had helped me, but it's just like I was just so frustrated and so ashamed all over again. And we need to stop being in that narrative about ourselves, right? Because I was on my way to do it. I had plans to do it. I had things that were going to help me do it. And all of a sudden, all of a sudden, it was like I was in a setback, right? I didn't have the money that I was going to set up the payment with. So, and I still don't have it. I still need to find a way to make that happen. But what I did do is I connected with my friend base, and also my other best friend is Google. So I Googled about being kind to myself. And one of the things that I was really surprised about is there's quite a few articles on that. One of the ones that I got to review, and it's in my podcast on Substack, is an article on the Very Well Mind by Sanjana Gupta. And she talks about a psychologist, Rachel Goldman, and she explained that self compassion is really about being kind, gentle, and patient with ourselves. When life gets messy, that's the only thing that we can do. That's the only thing that we can hold on to. So, it's about becoming your own best friend. And in the article, one of the therapists who's also a yoga teacher, she talks about that. It's learning about how to be our best friend, our own best friend. And that's the season I'm in. I had to learn how to be my best friend, because if I can show myself self compassion, if I can be kind to myself, then I'm able to do that even more with other people. Because think about it, when we are really hard on ourselves, that is how we show up with other people. That is how we judge other people when they're going through their crisis, when they're going through their trial. We're like, well, why can't they just get it together? Because I know, like, I'm always getting it together and everything is so hard, but look at me. And it's like, that's not what we need to do for each other. That's not what we need to do for ourselves. And really, that is part of our health, because what I noticed is when I would think and be harsh on myself, my heart was pounding. I'm having heart palpitations. I'm feeling tired, because by the end of the day of me holding all of that in with the additional tasks that I have, because I also do it, I'm an administrative assistant, I do executive administration, I do back end project management, not back end business operation stuff. So it's like by the time I hold that all together and do that, there's also the mental part of, yes, I held it all together. I got all the things done, but now I'm exhausted. And how is that helpful for anyone? So that's the season that I'm in. I need to be my own best friend for my health, not even my mental health at this point, because if my heart is pounding, that means it's working way too hard, which means my whole system is working way too hard, right? So what I'm trying to walk out now is practicing that, my practice of self compassion. And hopefully you will also practice that out as well. So, a few of the things that I have listed out in my blog, I'm going to review them now. And hopefully you will be able to drop in the comments section of this where what things you do that work that aren't on this list, or if they are on the list, how you practice it. So, practice self kindness instead of self judgment. When I realized my payment was intercepted, my first thought was, why did I do this to myself? I went down the whole rabbit hole. But self compassion means shifting that to, I'm doing the best I can. And that's all I can do for today. So here's an idea. When you feel those negative narratives that you yourself are saying, no one else, right? Rewrite your harsh self talk as if you were talking to your best friend. If I was talking to my daughter or my friend D, I wouldn't be harsh on them. I wouldn't say, "Oh my gosh, you suck so much." Like, yeah, I know you kept doing. I mean, I may say to oh, well, maybe that's me being terrible too. I may say to them once in a while, like, "Oh yeah, but remember I have reminded you." And it's not to be condemning, but it's just like we need to just remember how would we talk to that person. So, whew, I'm sorry, Dominique and Laura, if I was harsh on you in that aspect. But always I want to come from a place of I love them. I don't want to be harsh to them. I love my friend D. I love my sisters. So I don't want to be harsh on them because I already know they have enough. Like both of oh, well, actually I have like four sisters at this point. To my actual sisters and then to my sisters in love. And all of them have kids. They're all working. They have their own stuff going on, right? So at no point do I ever want to make it more on them. And now that I'm older, I can think that way. But of course, when I was younger, I'm sure I expected way too much support or way too much. I had too many expectations. And it's like, no one has time for that. Like, we're all trying to juggle kids, juggle relationships, juggle our health, which as we all get older, it's just more of a job. It's even more of a job. I have to make sure I have my water. I have to make sure I have my healthy snacks. Like, so people already have enough, and I want to show up in a way where I'm showing love to the people that I'm with. I don't want them to feel anything more than what they already have to go through. So number 2, recognizing our common humanity. Sharing my story took away the shame because I realized that so many other people that I was with was having that same problem. And 3 of my friends, we were able to pray together about it. So it was like I had that instant support. I recognize that I'm human and other people are human too. And they're messing up stuff and having to clean it up. And no one's coming to save them. So it's like we are all in that together. We all know that people are going through stuff because we say that. But do we really understand that? Like, it's not just us going through terrible stuff, heavy stuff. And how can I be there and recognize that somebody is just human and going through stuff, right? So the next time you feel embarrassed about a mistake, ask a trusted, safe friend, have you ever been through this? Chances are their answer is going to be yes, right? Chances are because you're not a terrible person, you've picked people that are great people that are also going through things. And I think we need to make sure that the people that are really showing up for us in a real way, in an authentic way, in a healing way, that we're also reciprocating that for them, checking in on them, hugging them, when they're going through heavy things, not telling other people about it. Don't don't be that kind of friend, right? If someone is showing up for you, um, being a babysitter for you, helping you clean up, helping you do the things that no one wants to do, helping you move. That's a real friend if your friend has helped you move, right? Just trust enough that the people that God has you with, the universe has put you with, those people that are showing up for you that way, they are your real friends, right? And I even got to sit with my friend that I hadn't talked to in a while, Miss Di, fabulous Diane. And we were sitting out in my gazebo and we were just sitting there. Her friend was with her, my daughter was with me, my oldest daughter Dominique was with me. Her friend's daughter was with her and her baby. And it was like we just were all talking. And one of the best things that Di had said, and I hadn't seen her in a while, we looked around the house and I was showing her some updates that we had. And the most powerful thing she said was, I'm not willing, I don't, and we're the same age. Um, I'm not willing to do things that I don't want to do anymore. Not willing to just be fake. I don't want to do it anymore. And it's like my daughter and I just instantly connected with that because we're tired of that. We're tired of, oh, I want to pretend to have it all together. I don't have it all together. I'm doing the best that I can. And whatever I've learned, I'm willing to teach someone else, help someone else if I can, right? So hopefully that is helpful for you. Number 3, be mindful of feelings without over identifying. Like you can say to yourself, yes, I was angry. Yes, I was frustrated. But those feelings aren't my some definition. That's not all that am. Just because I'm angry about the NBA doesn't mean I'm an angry person all the time, right? And I've done that before. Like my husband is very animated. Love him to death. And one of the things I used to wrongly do is put his feelings about something all over him. And that's not true. Like, you're allowed to be angry about your job. You're allowed to be frustrated about things without that being the definition of you. And I've think for a long time, and that's the whole thing with toxic positivity is that I don't have to be happy all the time. I can say I'm angry about this. I can write a letter about it. I can even tell the person that constructively, and that's okay. I'm not an angry person. It's fine. They're just signals. So instead, try this. Pause, take a moment and say, is this what I feel right now? Is it? And then if this is what I feel right now, it's not how I'm going to feel forever. Just because I feel tired of a exercise routine, a meditation routine, that doesn't mean that I'm going to feel that way all the time. It's okay to take a break and start again next week. If I don't want to get on my bike, like I haven't been on my Peloton, I think, the whole summer. Sorry, Tunde. I think I went on there a couple of days ago. Other than that, I've been walking more. I haven't even been to my gym, which I love. I've just been going to the pool because I think we need to know like those seasons that we're in is different shift. And I am going back to the gym tonight actually to do some weights and possibly do a class. So the point is just because we feel frustrated about something does not mean that's the way we're going to feel always, right? Okay. Use encouraging self talk. I often have to remind myself to look at yourself with eyes and compassion. And that's what I've been saying at the end of every blog, at the end of every podcast, if I can remember, but definitely every blog. I'm mindful to make sure that I'm reminding you to look at yourself through rose-colored glasses, not saying that there's nothing wrong with you and that everything is beautiful, but stop being so harsh on yourself. Don't put the harsh glasses on. Don't put the harsh ones on. Put the nice ones on where you could be like, girl, you was doing the best you could. I'm just using my reading glasses here if you're not able to see what I just did. But yeah, don't look at yourself through the harsh lens. Look at yourself through rose-colored glasses of compassion because that's how you're going to get through when you're processing different situations. Now, I'm learning to practice that myself, okay? I'm going to tell you the truth. But Try this. Write down one kind sentence to yourself each morning. Tape it somewhere so you can see. So get you a little post-it note and write you a little note. Okay, I'm going to use a different one. So now I'm just holding up my little post-it note that says, I'm thankful for my life. I'm thankful for food, love, and clean space. And I guess let's just think of a message now that we can say to ourselves. Whew, I love myself. I'm beautiful. I'm kind. I'm smart. And so are you. You are kind. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are loving. You're wonderful. You're a miracle. And tape it everywhere. So maybe I'll do that as a practice that we can all do and share together. Care number 5, care for my mind, body, and spirit. And this is where faith comes in. Praying, prayer, scripture, and forgiveness, even forgiving the system. One of the things that I realized, I've been reading a lot of different books, and one of my favorite podcasts is Dr. Ranjan Chatterjee, and his book, Making Change That Lasts, talks about forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, and even broken systems. That spoke to me because carrying anger at the MVA, at the tax Maryland comptroller, that's not hurting them. It's just hurting me, right? It's making my chest hurt. It's making my blood pressure hurt. So I need to forgive systems that aren't that easy and just move forward because it's helping me. It's healing me in my path. So hopefully we can try this. At the end of the day, ask yourself, did I pray, rest, or reflect today? And if not, give yourself 5 minutes before bed to do just one. Just do one reflection, right? I was frustrated at this, and this, but I can let that go. I can put that away now because I know that they're just doing the best they can, right? And just keep it moving. Here's the reflection I want to leave you with. Self-compassion is the foundation of freedom. When we forgive ourselves and others and even systems, we make space for joy, love, and peace. And in that space, we're open to the greatness and create an opportunity for exponential growth, right? Exponential growth, not just 1+1, like 5 times 5 or 2 times 5, like exponential growth. So let's take a moment together to just clasp your hands over your heart or wrap yourself in a gentle hug. Just squeeze yourself, right? Because we can do that for ourselves. Take a deep breath in and out. And whisper to yourself, I'm safe. I'm loved. I'm healed. I'm okay. I love that for us. So for this week, I want to challenge you. Tonight, I want you to take write one moment where you showed yourself compassion. Keep it simple, but celebrate it because, hello, it's brand new. We're learning new things. We're doing new habits. Notice how it shifts your perspective. Then nurture yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually. By placing your hands over your heart or wrapping yourself in a hug, it feels so good. Remind yourself that you are safe, you are loved, and you're supported. As we close today, I want you to remember this. Self-compassion isn't weakness, it's freedom. If today's episode spoke to you, I created something just for you. It's a self-compassion daily practice guide, and it's totally yours free. There's no hook, there's no email, just download it. The link is in the show notes. And it's just to help us walk in softness and grace and to be softer with ourselves, which is going to cause us to be softer with others. And Please, if you haven't done it yet, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with someone else that you know could use it, needs it, is ready for it. Every single one brings me closer to our road to 1K and helps more people find encouragement and freedom through these conversations. Remember, that's what has healed me and helped me on my road. And this is what I hope that we can do as a community is share conversations, share healing, open roads where we can be free. Open road is freedom, freeness from constraints that are not made for us. So thank you for spending this time with me. And until next time, keep choosing compassion, keep choosing freedom, and keep walking unfiltered. Love you. Bye.